Well. Hello there, people. Welcome back to my channel. And in this video, I wanted to go through the issue that I've had with my lovely 500E. It's the knocking sound that I posted earlier on, and I was super afraid of it being either a rod knock or a transmission induced sound. So let me just go real quick through the timeline of this issue here. It all started with me taking down the transmission to repair the reverse clutch discs inside the transmission. I did that whole job, mounted everything back together, measured the oil level. Everything was seemingly good. A couple of days after, I decided to do a recheck of the oil level, and then I discovered that the oil level was too high actually, and I drained off 0.7 liters of oil. I drove the car, it felt better actually. Then a week after, I started to hear this knocking sound, which you can hear in this clip. So that was kind of worrying. I was like, holy shit, am I experiencing a rod knock here or something? It did not sound good at all. So I was really afraid of it being like a serious issue, because it did sound like really serious. Then I proceeded to dig into this issue and see if I could find any particular weaknesses on these cars, even though I've never heard of such bad stuff happen in a way. So I decided to recheck the oil level on the transmission, and the short story there is that I found out it to be too low again. So I refilled the transmission back up, and it actually missed 0.7 liters, so I was right the first time. So let's see. Now it's in the middle, and I filled like 0.5 liters, I think. Please fix this issue. So either way, a little fun fact to this info thing here is that when I started to hear that knocking sound the second time around, because the first time it was like just a brief little second, the second time around it was a lot worse. It continued for a longer period of time. And I also could hear the fuel pump relay clicking under the seat. Well, it's time for me to clicking fuel pump relay. Bugger. Everything at once. Damn it. And I was like, damn it, both a knocking sound and the dreaded LH unit fuel pump relay thingy. And I was like, okay. But then when after I did the refilling of the transmission the last time, I decided to have the car sitting in the workshop, and I got to check the car when it was cold. So I started up, and we lifted the car up in the air, and the sound was still there. We started to look around, and my chief here was with me and like doing the checks all at once, because it's a very limited space of time you can do the listening for the sound, because it goes away. Then he was like, oh, Stefan, it's like clicking in the back here. And I was like, what? Around the fuel pump? And I was like holding on I was like doing checks, like feeling stuff. And I could hear that it wasn't the engine, it wasn't the transmission, but I stuck my hand on top or on the outside of the fuel lines, and I could feel that knocking sound in the fuel lines. It's the fuel pump. I can feel the heading in the fuel pump pipes. That's crazy. fuel pump relay is clicking. And that giving throttle, making the sound go away. Giving throttle also makes the fuel pump relay not click. Crazy. And I was like, holy shit, it's the fuel pump relay making like shock waves in the fuel lines. And I was like, holy, I couldn't believe it. So people, the issue is actually the fuel pump relay turning on and off and making shock waves or pressure waves inside the fuel lines, and you can easily feel it inside the cabin because they're obviously screwed into the floor, and you could really hear it on the inside, but as soon as you went on the outside it was a bit more like vague in a way. So if you have a sound like this, make sure you don't have a clicking fuel pump relay. This is just a really, really strange fault that's been appearing. So, and I'm super happy that it wasn't a mechanical fault within the engine. So I am just a super happy camper with a 500e that does not have a serious mechanical issue. So people, I hope you could use this info, and I really hope to see you guys in the future videos. So until then, have a good day, and see you guys later. Bye bye bye. Bye bye.